down to the ground. You're dragging me. It's constantly. No,
The Rent We Pay. A story about family, hope, and the cost of belonging. The morning light slipped quietly through the blinds, cutting across the small Seattle kitchen. The coffee machine hummed, dripping rhythmically, the sound that meant routine. Samantha stood by the counter, scrolling through the news on her phone. Rent prices have increased by 14% this year, the anchor announced. She let out a dry laugh. Of course they did. Across the table, Michael sat buried under a pile of bills. His shoulders sagged, his eyes tired but trying to stay calm. "Sam," he said quietly, "the landlord sent a message. Rent's going up to $2,800 next month." Her mug froze midair. $2,800? "Mike, we're already dipping into savings." Their 10-year-old son, Eli, zipped his backpack and looked up. "Are we moving again?" Neither parent answered. The silence was the answer. Over the next 2 weeks, every evening turned into a house hunt. Zillow, Craigslist, Facebook Marketplace, the same cycle of disappointment. Too small. Too far. Too damn expensive. Eli would peek over Samantha's shoulder and ask, "What about that one?" She'd force a smile. "Maybe." Late one night, Michael leaned back in his chair, exhaustion in his voice. "We both work full-time in tech, and we still can't afford a decent 2-bedroom. How does that even make sense?" Samantha didn't reply. She just stared at the glow of her laptop screen, thinking about how home was starting to feel like a moving target. They found a smaller place across town, cheaper, tighter, older. The walls were thin, the neighbors loud. But the rent was doable. Eli's Spider-Man poster ripped as they pulled it off the old bedroom wall. He didn't say anything, but his eyes filled up. Michael crouched beside him. "Hey, buddy. One day we'll have a place that's ours. Promise." But his voice carried more hope than certainty. The new apartment was small enough that you could smell dinner from the bedroom. Boxes doubled as nightstands. The couch squeaked every time someone breathed. But at night, the family ate together, knees bumping under a tiny table, laughter filling what space the apartment didn't have. One evening, Samantha found Eli sitting by the window, writing in his little notebook. "What are you working on, kiddo?" she asked. He smiled without looking up. "I'm writing something for school. Home isn't where you live, it's who you live with." Her throat tightened. She knelt beside him, wrapped her arms around his shoulders, and let the city noise fade away. At work, a colleague asked casually, "You moved again, right? That must be tough." Samantha smiled, sipping her coffee. "Tough? Yeah. But we learned something. It's not the square footage that makes a home. It's the people inside it." She paused for a second, then added softly, "We pay rent every month, sure. But the real cost of home? That's love, patience, and a little bit of hope." Moral of story. Every family pays rent, not just in dollars, but in moments, sacrifices, and the love that keeps them together.